Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Trav the Trash Man Martin. How you doing today, Trav?
Your boy is here.
Okay, All Might or Endeavor, like I like to call you, and
like I like to call you.
Hey,
Endeavor in the background.
Yeah, even though it's tiny, it's a small peck. Like I can see Endeavor in the background, but
I don't know how I got it. It just showed up one day.
Hey, he's the number one hero. He showed up at your doorsteps, man. So with that being said, today we are reviewing episode 7 of My Hero. Oh, not My Hero Academia. I'm thinking about My Hero Endeavor. But episode 7 of American Horror Story, season 10, and this is Death Valley. And the episode is called Take Me to Your Leader. So before we get into today's episode, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Like D always says, Trav.
Podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe, baby.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. So this one is focusing on the aliens now, like the first half of American Horror Story. We got to see the pale monsters, and we got to see the pale
monsters.
Yeah, isn't that what they were called? The
pale people. But what's it called?
I mean, bro,
they were rolling with pale monsters now.
They were monsters. But look, this episode, I want to say it started off good, but I feel like by the end of it, I was just like, it's all right. Like I told you earlier, I talked with Trav, and I was like, the episode was a good episode, but it wasn't as good as the first episode for Red Tide. What about you, Trav? What were your thoughts on the episode?
No, bro, you over here, your boy over here.
Oh, you thought it was fire?
Incredible.
Oh, incredible. Wow.
Incredible.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna say. I immediately messaged Paul, Mr. Workman, and I said, you need to watch this second half of American Horror Story pronto.
I mean, I thought it started off fire. Like when that dude came home from work, he was like, honey, I'm hungry. She was floating in the air. Hey, bro, she hit him with the Dragon Ball Z move. She held up that hand and his head exploded. But no, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is starting off really good. And I honestly, Trav, I thought that it was going to stay in the past. Right. And then, like, by the end of the second half of this season, I thought that they were going to move along to the future because, I have the theory that they are using alien DNA or something inside of the pills that we saw in Red Tide. But they jumped to the future and we're introduced to our cast of Kendall, Kyle, Troy, and Jamie and Maria. And pretty much they get abducted by the aliens. Also, too, we meet Amelia Earhart, which I thought,
that's right.
which was interesting. Now, Trav, I know that you don't watch Legends of Tomorrow, but on Legends of Tomorrow, they're doing that. Like their whole theme this season is aliens as well. Right. And I want to say it was either the first episode or the second episode. They end up finding Amelia Earhart. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I just thought
my first book report was on her.
How she flew in the Bermuda Triangle and that was it.
Disappeared.
So I thought it was just interesting seeing that that they're doing this on this season of American Horror Story, and then on Legends of Tomorrow they're doing it. But of course, it's better up here than it is on Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow it used to be one of my favorite shows on the CW, but it's kind of
That's what happens though when you got 7-8 seasons, bro.
Because it's like where do you go from there? You know what I'm saying? It's just like you could only keep going so far before
I've been trying to tell people.
Jump the shark. And like that's what I'm saying. It's like it was cool at first while they were traveling through time, but then it's just like now they're fighting aliens in space and demons and all. I'm just like, okay. But anyway, back to American Horror Story. I thought it was interesting when they all got abducted and then they all ended up pregnant. I did think that was interesting.
Damn, bro, we just went right to the end spoiler.
Hey, well, bro, we jumping all over the place, man. I mean, like, well, hey, go ahead.
Abducted.
Hey, well, go ahead. Bring up, start talking. Bring up some other stuff.
Hey, I just mean, I like that they showed this little, clip in the past of the aliens first coming down or whatever. What I thought was cool was when they opened the alien. So this alien in your background, they made it look like we believed aliens looked in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, that's what aliens look like. It was cool when they opened it up and they found out that's just like their shell, their armor, their mech. You know what I mean? They chilling in it. And I was like, this is some Men in Black stuff right here. I'm with it.
Well, see, I'm thinking more Men in Black, and I was also thinking Independence Day. Remember the small aliens were inside of the big alien? So I thought that was pretty cool. I also thought it was cool, like when the skin had got on the guy's face. Like I automatically started thinking about the Alien movies, where the face huggers and like.
Well, I felt like that was the alien.
That hopped on his face and was trying
that's my thought process. Was they're like parasites.
I mean, so I can see that.
They hit us with that Suicide Squad.
They said somebody help that man. And
I said, bro, as soon as I watched it, the guy's trying to pull it off his face. I said, I'm sorry, but that dude's on his own.
It's like y'all don't even know what y'all are dealing with here. And what was also interesting too was like at the start of the episode where the little boy came in there and like he was telling his mom, he was just like, it's okay, mommy, it's okay.
You got the freaky kids again.
So do you? Okay, so now this is my thing too. Amelia Earhart, she was pregnant and she had been missing for all these years, but she still thought that she was still in the same year and whatnot. Like she was like Captain America. She was just like, where am I? And she was pregnant, and now the four teenagers or young adults, they're pregnant.
They're young adults,
and that's something that like I want to piggyback off to what you said about like aliens in the 90s and whatnot, because that was always one of the things where it's just like, if you get abducted by aliens, like you get impregnated,
they gonna probe you.
Yeah, they probe you. And something else too that I like that they did was it's like they saw the flashing light, the car engine didn't start at the end of the episode, and when they woke up, they were all in different seats in the car. It's like because like some time had went by and like they thought that it was still the same night, but it like time had went by. Like I want to say it was about a week or so or a couple of days.
I thought it was 2 months maybe it wasn't 2 months, but what's it called? The homeboy on the phone was like, y'all were on some bender.
Yeah. And, oh, bro, also too, remember when they saw the cow? It was cut in half, and they was just like, oh, is that the cow still alive? I'd have been afraid too. Like there was no blood or anything, man. And they could have took that cow and they could have cut it up. They could have made some steak. They could have made some burgers. They could have did something with that cow.
We good on that.
It there. They just left it there.
Yeah, well, I leave it there too. Nope, I'm out. Your boy gone.
But no, I mean, it's just interesting that with the way that they're going with this season, like it's like, again, like I said, I don't think it was a bad episode. It's just that I enjoyed the Red Tide episode, the first episode, more than this one. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen on next week's episode. I do like all of it seems like they're going with like 90s and 80s tropes when it comes to the aliens and stuff. And I love that. I mean, it gives me X-Files feels too. You know what I'm saying? So I just wonder what happened to the baby that Amelia Earhart had, and like what's going to happen with these babies that they're carrying now. It's I guess we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. So Trav, let everybody know your final thoughts and what's your rating for this episode.
Well, first off, before we wrap this thing up, did you notice a familiar face in this episode?
Who?
What you mean who?
Who?
You don't know at all?
Are
Kendall.
Huh? Kendall.
Yeah.
Kendall who?
From the episode, Kendall.
Well,
I guess kind of the main character. The chick that doesn't do technology anymore.
Yeah, okay. Well, what about her?
She's Rose. She's Rose from American Horror Stories from Hell House.
I'm looking at her right now.
Yeah, she played the lesbian lover that was dead with the girl that was alive, and she come back every Halloween.
I thought that was Paris Jackson that was the killer.
No, Paris Jackson was
the bully.
The chick the bully. That was Paris Jackson.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
This is Cindy Crawford's daughter, and she looks just like her.
Oh, wow. Well, I never even knew that. So, hey, you learn something every day. But what were your final thoughts on the episode, and what rating do you give it?
Bro, I love it. I understand where you're coming from about liking the other one more, because the first half of this seemed like an American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Show. It fit that vibe. This one's a little bit more wacky. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm telling you, I'm saying this right now. If by the end of this, we don't see if somebody don't give birth to some alien babies and they show it, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be an unsatisfied viewer. And when it turned out that both dudes were pregnant too, I was hooked. I was like, they got me, bro.
So what do you think the baby's going to come? Do you think they're going to
I don't know, but I'm so excited to find out.
Hey, it's 3
It's
holes.
like when you were a kid and you ask, the sex ed teacher if you could get pregnant by the butt.
Hey, bro, it's what?
Them butt babies.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 holes that baby can come out of that guy. And
I hope he got a butt baby.
And look, on Legends of Tomorrow, Rory, he ended up getting. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't know what, because it's like both stories are similar right now, but Rory ended up getting pregnant by an alien, and they was just like, pregnant, like, how's he pregnant, like, where the baby's gonna come from? And all of the babies came out of his nose. So I mean,
they better not come out of his nose. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's only one hole that I want them to come out of, and I think you both and everybody that's watching knows.
We know what hole you want. I'll take either one. Either one down in the pants region is.
Now if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be pissed. But what's your final rating for that episode?
Right, yo, bro, straight up, bro, 10 out of 10. I told you bro. As soon as it turned out that the dudes was pregnant, I'm hooked, bro. Okay. I'm in. I'm locked in.
Hey, well, look, you gonna like next week's episode because it's called Inside.
The Inside.
They better show the aliens inside these people's body, like forming.
Them ultrasounds. Don't be wild.
Me, I give this like I said, I enjoyed the episode, but I just enjoyed Red Tie's episode more. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. I want to see. I hope that we continue to get flashbacks of what happened back when the aliens first came to Earth and all that stuff. And I want to see that stuff. So for me, I'll give this episode, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for me. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let us know what your rating is. Trav, let them know where they can find you at a social media land.
Hey, that's right. You can find me on the Instagram at ZK Audio. You can find me on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK. I'm also on Letterboxd at the same name. Mr. Benjamin Banks, where they gonna find podcast #1 hero at?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure you check out some more of our reviews that we have here on the channel, along with interviews and reaction videos. Also, check out our podcast where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday, and then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube on Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.